is my baby Bubba okra. I'm growing 6 different varieties of okra this year, figuring out what's best. These are my Anaheim peppers I started from seed. This is our TP fairy garden that we started for our little neighbor who is 5. So she and I planted those together. More okra. And this is on the outside of the garden. So let's go through the fence to the inside of my garden. Here we have a morning glory that will grow up the fence. This fence was put up earlier this year, so this is my first year growing in this space. Along the fence there we have a Malabar spinach. It's the first time I've had any good luck with Malabar spinach. I kept trying, and finally I ordered seeds from Baker Creek, and they sprouted, and it's just doing fabulous. You'll also see the end of my winter garden, my cabbages, and then this is an early girl tomato. She's just doing great. Next is my Creole garlic that I got from the local fruit stand. It is an organic garlic that grows in this region of Alabama. I'm on the cusp of 9A, 8B, depending on which map you look at. So I am typically a month to 2 months ahead of most of the other people in our country. This is my celery. And in the back here, this is a garlic that I bought that was grown in Florida. So I thought I might try it. And it has just not done as well as the Creole. If you look at the Creole, it is just doing so well. I'm so excited to finally find a variety of garlic that will grow in this part of Alabama. I grew up in Texas, and we're used to hardneck garlic growing wild. So I've had a hard time getting garlic going. This is an Egyptian walking onion. I just ordered these off of eBay, and they came in, and they are starting to walk. I'm super excited. These are my tomatoes and sweet peas. The sweet peas will be petering out here soon as the tomatoes come on, so they make good companions for my garden. These first 3 tomatoes are tomatoes that I actually grew last season, and I saved cuttings on my sun porch over the winter and rooted them, and they are just doing fabulous. I have no idea what varieties they are. And this next group are all tomatoes I started from seed. I believe we have a purple Russian on the left, and another purple Russian, and I can't remember what this guy is. This guy is a Tropic VFN. So I'm real curious to see how they do. It's the first year I've grown these, and I started all these in seed here in southern Alabama. I start my seeds January 1st, and these were put in the garden March 1st. This next one is the only guy that he's doing well, but he's just slower than everybody else. So let's see, what are you? I can't remember names. You notice here I use a heavy mulch. I don't use, this is another Tropic. So I don't know why he's not doing as well. I'm hoping he's going to come on strong as the heat comes on. But I'm not going to pull him out. Next is a pepper. And then these are my yellow pears. Also, I started them from seed the 1st of January. You can see the remnants of my fall garden. These are curly leaf kale, Lancino or Dino kale, some more cabbage, some Swiss chard, which we're starting to get really hot here. They are starting to peter out. The Swiss chard is struggling. See there, I have a little butterfly moth, or a cabbage moth on my kale, but you also notice right next door is a wasp. I have such a healthy wasp population that I have not had practically any damage on my brassicas from the cabbage moths or the cabbage butterflies. So I'm really happy about that. It just goes to show that if you get the right balance, nature will take care of itself. So I'm not real concerned about her being in my garden right now, as long as I'm seeing lots of these guys around too. More Lancino kale. My broccoli is petering out. My cilantro is going to seed. This is all stuff from my fall-winter garden. Here we do brassicas over the winter. We plant onions in October. So it's a little different growing season than the rest of the country. Over here I have another eggplant and another Malabar spinach and an okra. And then these I just planted about 3 days ago are my painted lady runner beads. So it is my intention that they will grow all the way down. Here's a full shot of what we've got going on in the garden this year. We come over here, this side of my path, I have a society garlic, my oregano, more society garlic, and these kale. These guys are leaning into the sun, so next year I probably will not put them there. Back this way, you notice I have a path through here. I use a deep mulch garden system. If you notice, my paths are mulched with pine straw, and then I use leaf mold and grass clippings on my main garden. And I don't water very much. I did water a few of my sprouts this morning, my little beans that are just up, but for the most part I don't water. Here I have my lettuces. This was a lettuce blend from Southern Seeds. Enjoyed it all winter. Now it's time for it to go, so I'm letting it go to seed so I can have them self-seed and collect some seeds for next year. I have really enjoyed this blend. I also have a couple ground cherries. I've never grown ground cherries before, but if you notice, I have my first, I don't know if you can see it, my first little ground cherry right in there. Super excited. Another eggplant. And then on this far wall, I have more tomatoes I started January 1st. Behind them, I will have cucumbers on the other side of the trellis and okra. And then here at the base, where it gets shade underneath my satsuma tree, I have strawberries and a salvia for all my pollinators. And in the corner, I have a cucamelon. So I've got lots of stuff going on here. More celery. And then this part, which always is in the shade of the tree, I have blood vein sorrel and ginger that I bought from the local fruit stand. It's doing great. I just put her out here. And then this little guy right here is a plant I've actually grown for several years, but it's the first year I put it in my garden. This is an Okinawan spinach. It is a perennial spinach. It likes the hot. I have a huge pot of it that's been on my back porch for maybe 5 years, and this keeps us in spinach. Now, it is a little different texture than regular spinach. I normally use it for cooking, but it's just a beautiful plant. I'll show you a shot of the big one here a little while later, because this one's just getting started. Then I also have a Cuban oregano, which I have a big one, so this is the first time I put the Cuban oregano in my garden, and she is just doing great. I'm super excited to have her here, and she doesn't like full sun, so we put her over here underneath the satsuma tree also. So there we go. First garden tour of the year. I am super excited to see what happens next.